Welcome to the Boardroom. I'm JJ the CPA. I'm here with my son Cooper. We are third and fourth generation in the tax business. We are covering succession. I'm so excited and honored that Coop is working with me. It's like a whole different motivation to come in the office every day. But we recently received an award and very excited about that. Coop, what did we get awarded?
We got
Is a
voted.
big honor.
Yeah, we were awarded the best accounting firm in the 405. So if you're not from Oklahoma, 405 is our metro area of Oklahoma. Really the biggest area of Oklahoma. So quite an honor to get voted that for sure. And it was awesome to share with all of our clients as well as social media.
Absolutely. Well, big shout out to my wife, Amanda, who alerted us to it and helped organize people to be aware of it and come vote for us. So we really appreciate her. So thankful for that. You know, one of the things that we are really trying to do as we move forward is expand the business, not at all to allow me to make that much more money. What I'm trying to do is put the practice in a mode that will be stronger moving forward, that will allow me to have more flexibility with my time and therefore utilizing what Coop grows and the staff to help me help the client base that I've been working with for the last 25 years. And Coop is bringing on new clients because what I had told him is, hey, listen, I don't have a full-time position that you can step into and make money that's going to really support a lifestyle that you may want. And he's taken that ball and has run with it with a lot of excitement. And what we're really wanting to do as well moving forward is move in a real true niche, really deep diving. Coop, tell us a little bit about that, maybe how we came up with this.
Yeah, well, and Amanda was a huge part of that. She was our kind of inside eyes into the real estate in real estate industry.
Being a realtor.
Yeah, being a realtor. And so that was kind of the first step that we started to realize a lot of these people are not been paid attention to, and they run into the same problems year after year when it comes to taxes, as well as advising, about their business and how to properly get that set up. So, and especially here, and I know it's the same across the nation, but here in OKC and Edmond, it really seems like there's a kind of an aura around the real estate community. They throw these big events and it's like a party the whole time. And it's, it's just really cool to see how they all get together and they mingle. But the one thing that really you realized being the first one to go along with the manage all these events was, I'm not seeing any other CPAs or accountants here representing. There's, mortgage companies or home inspection companies or, related to real estate, there's other companies and firms showing up, but there was no CPAs or accountants or even financial advisors going to these events. And so I think that when we really got the chance to talk about it, especially once tax season had wrapped up and we were like, okay, how should we really approach this? And the more we talked about it, it just made more and more sense that this would be a group to go after. And then also with opportunity that we have to, I wouldn't say Jensen's really starting from the ground, but essentially we are in terms of we're really trying to, we're going to take this a different direction than you had been in prior years. And I think that direction might be, and you had already had a niche of the kind of client you worked with, and we had touched on it in prior episodes, doctors, lawyers, small businesses. They're not selling a product. They all have service sort of business. And so I think we're going to take that one step further. And a real advantage to that is just, we're working with the same kind of client. All of our meetings are very, very similar. Once you've prepared necessarily for one meeting, numbers might change, but the next 20 realtors need the exact same meeting. They need the exact same tax estimate ran form. They need the exact same advice in the same ballpark. And one of the real reasons that you had said, why you get into a niche and why you work with the same kind of client is just really for us and to lower our stress. And so that, you use it lions, tigers, and bears. We're sitting here, we just fed these lions Now we gotta go feed the bears, but we have to go do a whole different kind of hunting to get the meat that the bear needs to eat. And then same thing for the tigers. It's, you know, a whole different process. If you can just keep the same process, not saying we're gonna, you know, not bring on as many clients, we're not gonna do this, but why not focus in one direction? So I think that if we're really gonna focus one direction, it makes a lot of sense that it is gonna be realtors.
Yeah. And, you know, Omar Abbott Slater, CPA, the great and late grandfather, great grandfather of Cooper's, you know, he talked about when you're building a niche and really specializing, that also you're gonna be able to serve that customer so much better, because when you see the issues over and over, and then you know the laws that are applicable to that industry, to that type of client, then you're able to, I think, better apply that. And I know there's a lot that would pride themselves in being able to work a lot of different industries, and they say, well, hey, I'll dig in and I can read that and I can research that. But I've always said, well, is that really the best for the client? You know, somebody who just prepared their very first whatever, and they've been in the business 30 years, but they just prepared their first farming business. Well, was that really the best thing for that farm?
Well, and it's easy in the accounting world and CPA world, and everyone's always looking for a new CPA. Everyone's always looking for a new accountant. People are calling our office often, looking for services. So it's really easy for accountants and tax professionals to just say yes to all these people. Oh yeah, I'll do your return. Oh yeah, I'll do your return. Oh yeah, I'll do your return. And you know, it's proven not to work in certain instances. And it, like you said, it's almost like you're not providing your best service to the client by doing that.
Yeah. Well, we work with a lot of enrolled agents as well. And, you know, one of the things with an enrolled agent, they have a designation with the IRS. Their exam is all related to tax. And in the community now of the US, we're looking to lose 75% of CPAs in the next 10 to 15 years due to retirement. I'll really be one of them. You know, the average age of a CPA right now is in the mid 40s, and we're going to lose so many different CPAs just from retirement, that the issue is we only in this last year had a little over 18,000 new CPAs. So we're going to end up with a shortage of about 300,000 CPAs, which means this, as my book that's coming out is going to be talking about, is do you really need to do this in your tax practices? Is this what you specialize in and what you're good at? Because one of the things that happened during tax season was a pretty significant medical event that I experienced about 4 days before the March 15th deadline. And we won't go into the details of that, but you know, I was in the ER. It wasn't something that was an accident. It was something that had built up over time. Now, I've lost 117 pounds. My blood works good. I don't have clogged this or that, blah, 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 blah. But the issue that I had is direct from tax season and stress. And it really did cause a much more intentional and maybe more sharper turn into this succession that we're going to be experiencing. So clients that are watching, you don't got anything to worry about. We're here. I'm here to take care of you. But with that being said, as we move forward, we really want to build something that is stronger, maybe not just contingent on the one decision maker in the firm, which is me for now with my clients, but then for Coop as he's moving forward and having a team. So when we're specializing and we're doing things that are routine, as in, well, this is the time of year, then there's going to be some replication that allows economies of scale. So speak to that a little bit, because I don't want him 31 years into the business to experience what happened to me. And I had a mild stroke also in October of 2021, 2 days before the October deadline. So with that being said, I don't want that to happen to you, but share a little bit more about what we're talking about.
Yeah. Well, we were at lunch actually during tax season, and you're like, you know, now's not really the time to dig into this. But I think after this tax season, like starting now, I really need you to step up into the role of, like, you're running this business. This is, you know, Jensen and Jensen is yours, in terms of, you know, dealing with the clients, making sure they're taken care of, making sure A to Z, you know, I'm really in charge of that. I need to make sure that, you know, our administrative assistant has that work to do and helping find her role in terms of how she can help us out the most. And so, you know, not that I was shocked or surprised at all, but I really had to just, muscle up right in the midst of it all and get through the end of it until we really had a chance to talk about it. And, now given where we're at, I have appreciated that your whole approach is, I want to market this for you. I want to be an advisor, for you going into Jensen and Jensen. Obviously, you're a part of it, and all your tax experience and is going to be used in Jensen and Jensen. But in terms of reaching the clients and this and that, so I've appreciated your approach as well to the succession of the business. Is just you're holding the reins now, but I'm on the horse next to you, and I'm hollering in your left ear when you need to make a right or make a left.
Right. You're pulling the wagon.
Yeah.
I'm just riding.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I've appreciated that. And I think that,
good.
Yeah, I appreciate the direction that we're heading. I think that, like I had mentioned, we're building that wheel right now. And I think that, once that wheel is built, it's, well, why grow from here? We have the system. And I think that's what we're really looking for over these next couple of years. It's not going to happen this year. It's not going to happen next year. We're talking the next 5 to 10 years. But say in 10 years, probably our goal that wheel has been fully built, and it's just going to then we're going to ride that wheel into retirement or ride that, and so rather than getting to where you're at now and then figuring out what that wheel is going to be and continue to be. So I've appreciated you wanting to really do as much as you can to help get me to that point.
Yeah. Well, and being the elder statesman in the firm, what I'm really wanting to be in the role of is like a surgeon, a surgeon that has their own practice, to equate it to what, they're hiring people, they're making sure there's payroll, the bills get paid, and did the patients come in, did the insurance get billed, all the things, right? But what we're really talking about in succession and what Coop's taking the reins on is, I'm still in the operating room, but when I step into the operating room, everything is taken care of. The anesthesiologist has done what they have. The nurse practitioners, administration did. They had somebody checked them in. They made all of this, and then I'm able to come in and just do really now what I'm best at in terms of that detail. And when you think about a surgeon, most of the time the surgeon isn't necessarily doing minor things with that client, and so. With that being said, that's why I'm comfortable with us moving forward, because on really what clients are hiring us to do, they want that experience, which you're gathering, but we're putting together a methodology that I'm coming in on the one matter that really requires that, but not having to be involved with everything else.
Yeah. And I think you've also given me the freedom to, market and advertise, a kind of a new way through social media, but then also, there's a financial advisor that you have worked with for over, 25 years, and his son's actually in a very similar spot as to me.
Shout out to Jared. Yeah.
Yes, and we are, so me and Jared are in touch often, and get lunch once a month, sometimes once a week, and we are really going to be doing some boots on the ground in terms of. We're going to be going to law firms. We're going to be going to real estate groups, to brokerage, and we're going to be dropping off business cards, and we're going to be given, a quote unquote goodie bag of some sort, or a quick, front and back. Here's what to do before, the end of 2024 to help maximize your taxes or maximize your financial portfolio. And so, again, that comes from the 31 years of experience that I have in front of me, and the many years of experience he has in front of him. Is that's how you guys used to do it. How did you guys originally get your name out there? Okay, well, that works. And there's not a lot of young financial advisors or accountants, and sometimes people look at our profession as boring. We were just we were at an event, and I was actually with Jared at a real estate event and doing some marketing, and we were talking about, we're like, why don't we have events like this thrown for us? Like, this is what everyone's here having fun, and so I think that, even Jared and I, we want to kind of be the first ones to find ourselves, what other young accountants and financial advisors are going out office to office and dropping off business cards and goodie bags, but then what other accountants and financial advisors have Instagrams, have Facebooks, are active on LinkedIn, and are active on all social media as well as marketing and advertising. And I think that's also going to really draw some attention to us and help build this. And I think it's great that, relationships you have built, I'm getting to continue those relationships. And like I said, there's many years of experience ahead of both of us, but that's been a huge help to us. But I think you've also kind of given me the freedom to, take it and go run with it.
Right.
Go as far as you can, and then when you fall and scrape your knee up, come back, we'll wrap you up and send you right back out.
Yeah.
And so it's been a lot of fun to, have the freedom to do that, and then also have the sense of like, I'm really running a business here.
Yeah.
You give me that sense without me really being out on my own. I'm not out there like a lost puppy. I have guidance and I have the right mentor. But I've, really gotten to come into the role of, I'm a business owner now.
Yeah.
So how do I advertise my business? How do I market my business in today's world?
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. And for those that are going through succession, maybe that are at my level, I think you did a good job of kind of describing that, because I think, my generation, the older that's passing it or allowing, the next generation to come in, even if they're not related, they're going to do it differently. They're going to do it with technology. They're going to have all these different ideas, but really, why is someone hiring us, right? It's to get a good result on a tax return. So I'm not retiring, quote unquote, I'm not giving up the reins to that part with 31 years. Now I'm sharing it. I'm saying, hey, take a rein with me, right? But I think a lot of business owners, especially in the tax world, might, because this is how it used to be when I was bringing in younger generation and it didn't work, and now none of them are here, is I really felt like, well, before you do this, you got to know this, before you do this. And it's like, okay, these are things: running the business, paying the bills, the marketing, getting out in front of people, how you bring in business and all that. By the time we get to why people have hired us, it will be the way that we need it to be, right? And I think that's probably sometimes what our customers get worried about. And that's part of the education we're doing with the clients that I'm working with, is like, listen, I mean, Coop's running the roost, but do you really care who's making sure that this got done and emailed, and this got e-filed, and that got billed, and this got collected, and this got paid, and then did we get the communication? Did we get this? Like, why would you don't care about that? What you care about is, hey, am I getting a good result here, doing all that we can? And JJ, are you involved? My clients know, because I'm still meeting with them. But me releasing to just go, I just want to be the surgeon in the room. So you got a lot of work ahead of you. But I think you having the excitement and enthusiasm, the energy, being young, you've done an awesome job. And I think you seem to love it. I mean, do you?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
it
yeah.
seems like you do,
Yeah.
but do you?
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. Like I said, it gives you the opportunity to really feel like a real businessman. We're making sure the expenses are paid. We're, having to market. We're having to get our name out there. And it's just, it's just been a lot of fun. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Got to meet some great people, and have brought on some pretty cool clients along the way. And
Absolutely.
So maybe some future guests possibly.
Yeah,
but
absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah, so no, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, and I think for me, such an honor to have Coop involved. And I mean, I don't remember when you were growing up saying, hey, this would be a good business to be in, or I could hand over my business, or here's opportunity, and it would be so easy. Like, I don't think I ever mentioned that or ever even thought to. I don't know why. But what I did over time is I explained how I made money and why, as a business owner, I thought there was advantage to that, and then how I went about it. And you came around. I mean, when you were 3 years old, you went around with a little lunch pail as a briefcase, and we both had our seersucker suits on. And
Oh yeah.
I actually got you a business card, and Chloe, and you went around and you went to firms that are still clients of mine, and you went and you shook their hand and you gave them this. My point is, I just made you aware of it. And so I'm just lucky enough that you and I have similar personalities, and I think we approach things differently. I'm sorry, I meant to say the same. But with that, it's been awesome that you came to me and you're like, listen, I really think I want to be involved in this business. And I'll be honest with you, at first, you were in high school. You're like, hey, Dad, is there anything I can do during the summer? And this is like, I think, right when you were getting ready to turn 16. And I was like, I'm just thinking, well, he just wants some summer money. And then you ask me again, and then after a couple of weeks, you're like, well, hey, I'm gonna go interview down here to work at either this supermarket or this restaurant. I was like, what? And I was like, no, you're not. I was like, you must really want a job, and you were dead darn serious. And during the pandemic, you started doing books as we were helping clients that weren't even clients. We're helping people for free. And I was like, well, this would be a great experience for you. And it just kind of took from there. So I love it. And kudos to you. Congrats on wanting to be a part of this. But I'm lucky and I'm honored. And all to say, for those that have family owned businesses, wouldn't it be better to come in and see your son or your daughter or your other family members every day? And so you have to really kind of realize that you're not in a family owned business. You're in a business, right, that includes family. But when you hear family owned business, you lead to all kinds of other issues that we see. But I think what I've tried to do is when we're at the office, you know, now you still say, hey, dad, or whatever the case is, but really allowing you to have a role, but then having a role. And would I say something to you that I would say to another employee? Because that's how I'm ensuring that we're keeping things professional. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna approach it, well, this is my son. I'm gonna approach it or have different expectations. Anyways, you've blown all expectations. I'm telling you, but you really have. I mean, not only with the amount of revenue that you brought in, the number of clients, but then the word of mouth that we're getting. And for us to be named best accounting firm in the 405, I mean, has a lot to do with you. And people are raving about you. And so there's a tradition that your great grandfather, my grandfather, instilled into me, and then through me to you. But you're acting on it, you know, and you're enjoying it. So, you know, for our episode 4, we're kind of working on something special related to that. I know that we kind of talked through with our marketing and all of the different aspects that we're taking. The one last thing I thought you might touch on is, you know, when I came to you right at the end of tax season, I said, hey, with you bringing in new clients, and we're going to have a niche, and we're going to go into really working with realtors and in the real estate, let's put together a system that's not just intro, but like for the next 12 months, and then any clients that we have, put them in. So where are we at in that process?
Yeah, so with Canopy, actually, again,
we need to get them as a sponsor. Like, come on.
Yeah. With Canopy, they have a great, it's really like an onboarding questionnaire that you get to send to your clients. And that's going to be huge. And it asks them any questions that would be any way, somehow, some way related to tax. Some of these questions might be like, why am I answering this question? But we need to know.
Yeah.
And so that's really been great. And right now, with our administrative assistant here, you know, we've had some talks and we've done some research in terms of on Canopy and how we can do this. But the main goal is that, you know, once a client leaves after their first meeting with us here, that as soon as they leave that door, she knows these 4 things need to get sent to them, this portal invite, as well as this onboarding questionnaire. And then from there, you know, we're not quite there yet. So we have a little bit of time to figure out exactly what it is we're going to do. We have some things in the works, but, you know, now it's a per quarter. Once we brought them on, okay, well, we know we need to sit down with them on June 15th, before June 15th. We know we need to sit down with them before September 15th. We know we need to sit down with them before 12/31. So what then needs to be sent to this client, or what do we need from the client? And how do we do that in the most efficient way? And then how do we do it that once we've done it once, we can do it 40 other times, fairly easy. And so that's kind of where we're at in that process. But again, Canopy is just, I think it's going to be a huge tool, and, you know, really not even just Canopy, just the technology that we have accessible to us today, you know, for business owners. I think, you know, we've got some good stuff in the works for our clients, and I think all of them are really going to appreciate it.
Yeah. And, you know, my generation hears technology and we think, well, it's not going to be as personal, but I think it's going to free up enough time. It's going to keep this consistent, the communication consistent, staying in front of our client and being able to more specialize what information goes to each. But one of the things you and I are working on is, you know, there's a lot of clients that, you know, maybe they don't really feel that they need someone year round, and or they go, well, I think I still want to do my own return. But really what they're seeking is
Tax
planning.
Yeah, the tax advice,
Yeah.
tax planning.
Yeah.
So we've got something that works as well for our clients, not for our clients. Our clients can be included in it if they'd like, but if we have something that we'll, be announcing probably soon.
Yeah.
That for people that, like you just said, they're not quite ready for a full-time accountant. They don't need 4 meetings a year. They don't need a tax estimate ran for them every quarter. They don't need a whole separate business return quite yet. But what else can we do for them? And that's what we're really going to get into is, what can we provide to this group of clients? And it's almost like see it as a farm system before we then get to work with them.
Yeah.
Giving them tax updates, letting them know, what needs to be done at this time of the year. And here's what we're basically telling our clients, but it's all done through, however we're going to decide that we do it. And we don't need to announce it or go too much into it now. Maybe that's something we talk about in episode 4, but I think we have a great, I think we have a great system in place for sure for clients and then people, prospective clients as well.
Yeah. Well, if you have caught us now 3 times in a row, well, we sure appreciate you. If not, go back. We now at this point have a playlist for the Boardroom covering succession. If you watch any of my other videos, I end it this way, but Coop's going to do the real ending. All right. Hey, thanks for tuning in. We'd love it if you would subscribe. And then don't you ever forget, you've never met a couple of accountants quite like us. But now, Coop.
Thank you for watching episode 4 of the Boardroom, episode 3 of the Boardroom.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Thank you for watching episode 3 of the Boardroom, and we look forward to our next videos.
All right, we'll see you then.